so much for giving your time today and coming in here, and it's all yours now. Thank you so
Okay.
much for being here.
Thank you again for the great introduction. So I would just say that I am a dietitian and my job is related to right eating. That's it. Okay, not like any other thing. So what I would like to know first from you all here is like a basic introduction as in your name, and what is your favorite food. Okay, and it doesn't mean that I'm a dietitian, I'm here and you just have to say so-called healthy options. Whatever food you like, you would just tell me that. Okay, so like let's start off with Medha Chattopadhyay, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am. So, I'm Medha Chattopadhyay, and my favorite food is I love pizza. So it's pizza.
Okay, just pizza, nothing else.
No, ma'am.
Okay, that's good. Then it's Renee, right? What's your favorite food?
Ma'am, my name is Anisha Ghosh and my favorite food is pizza.
Okay, everyone here is a pizza lover. Orko, what about you?
Ma'am, my name is Arkaprabhu Sarkar and
It's okay if you like a variety of foods as well. I don't mind.
no, I'm like, I don't actually like one certain type of food or something like. Ma'am, I don't actually like.
You don't like eating at all?
No, ma'am, I don't. It's not like I don't like eating, but I'm just like, I don't have a favorite food.
Okay. Anuja, what about you?
Yes, ma'am, I'll give it to my son. 1 minute.
Okay. Hi.
I like eating chocolates.
Okay, good. You're in my team. I love chocolates. And Surya, what about you?
Ma'am, I like pizza, burger, and chicken.
Wow, that's good. And Sarita, coming to you.
I'm like Arka Parvo. So we are like actually more in trouble. We like everything. We eat whatever we get.
That's very good. You should.
Yeah, we all go.
Yeah.
I like chocolates and I'm North Indian, so I like paranthas and all very much.
That's good. That's good. Vedant, what about you?
I like chocolates, no doubt. I like Mishti. And I like all kind. I'm a food lover. I love food. Sometimes they are healthy, sometimes they are may not be considered healthy. But I love food. I eat.
So okay, let me first clear a basic, concept to you people. Like when we normally hear the word diet, so the only thing that comes to our mind is like a bowl of salad, directed or very restricted eating. Okay. So this is what people think diet is. Actually, this is what we have been taught. Ki, acha, diet means eating less or like eating something super healthy in quotes. Now, the thing here is that actually diet means whatever you're eating throughout the day in your daily lifestyle. Whatever you're eating 7 days a week, 24/7. That's it. It does not mean eating less or eating super healthy or like just switching to veggies and salads and everything. Another thing here is that like most of us get stuck with the idea of eating healthy, and in this turn we miss out eating right. Okay, so if you're saying that you like having pizza, there's a reason why you like having it, right? Or you like having chocolates. And to be very honest, chocolate or pizza has been a part of your diet. Okay, one fine day some person will come and say that chalo aaj se you have to eat healthy, leave having all that. Is that possible? Your body is used to having a certain kind of food, and one fine day someone comes and like a dietitian like me comes and says stop eating everything. Your body is going to react to that. Whenever you're put into restriction, all the more you would want to do that. say like in a class, the teacher asks you to turn on your cameras, there will be like about say 40% of the crowd who will say that network issue and the camera is not working, so I have to keep it like turned off. It's because maybe probably you were like sleeping or dozing off, or you are not prepared to have the camera on, right? So this is how the mind is programmed. So if I ask you, like if I say that you have to stop eating pizza, all the more you would want to have it, right? So this is what the thing is. Now, I would like to ask you this thing, like most of you are having online schools and online classes, right? Switch on your mic so that we can interact.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, like, is it that you feel hungry throughout the day, or is it like, you know, when you're having classes at a stress, like, you know, stretch, you feel stressed out, and then like your mother or maybe, you know, grandparents come and they feed you food and you're just seated at one place for like, say, 5 to 6 hours a day. Is this the scenario?
No, ma'am.
No,
Not for
ma'am.
you. For others?
No, ma'am.
Mostly, ma'am. Yes. 5-6 hours you're sitting in front of the.
Okay. Okay. So, one thing that I'd like to request you, it's because like you must be having these classes and all, like, you know, breaks and all, right? So have food with your family members. Okay. I know maybe your parents have office and they are also busy and everyone is stuck in front of the desktop, right? So the first and most important step to health, like the health that is actual health, is having a healthy relationship with food. Okay. If you are stuck in front of the screen and you're not focusing on what you're eating, you will feel hungry or you will not have the feeling of satiety because your concentration was on something else and someone was actually, you know, helping you eat. So even if you've had a full plate of lunch, maybe 2 hours later, you know, just maybe 30 minutes to 2 hours after that, you'll start feeling hungry. You're full, your stomach is full, you've had food to your full capacity, but like whenever we have food now, there are hormones that are regulated in our body and that is associated with the brain. Okay, now your brain is partially into the computer screen and you are like, you know, someone else is feeding you or you have a mind somewhere else and you're eating something, definitely you'll feel hungry even more. Okay, so this is the reason why you would crave food, and then the easy option that's available is either take a biscuit or take some snacks, because obviously you can't have like cooked meals throughout the day, right? So are any one of you facing this problem? Like, it's not a problem, it would be wrong of me to say that this is a problem, but like, do you feel hungry often, like, you know, or like you feel like having some, you know, spicy food or some you know, sweet food? Do you get cravings like this often? Any like people?
Yes, ma'am. Even if I eat my lunch like 5 minutes prior, I feel hungry, but it's not actually hunger. So if I see food, I'm not like, I don't want to eat it, but then again, I'm feeling hungry.
Yeah, you're feeling hungry. This happens. Okay, like even if, you know, when you're stressed, like when exams come, people feel more hungry. One thing is because of stress hormones. Second thing is that if you're not focusing on the food you're having now, so then even if you're full, your satiety hormones, there's a hormone called leptin and ghrelin that doesn't function properly. This is the reason why people feel more hungry during exams. The same mechanism works when you're watching a video or when you're watching a lot of television and having, like, you're in the practice of watching television or YouTube and having the food. Okay, this happens because the mind is diverted somewhere else. Okay, so this is the reason why, like, there's a reason for everything. Okay, like sitting at the dining table together, eating with your family, interacting about food, interacting about, you know, whatever is happening, except for the work that you're like dedicated to do for 6 to 8 hours, is actually healthy. Okay, so I would say health is a practice. Okay, there's like nothing called you need to have vegetables or you need to have fruits or you need to drink 5 liters of water every day to be healthy. Because if that were the case, then the health's basic definition wouldn't be physical and psychological and social well-being. There are 3 aspects to health: physical, psychological, and social well-being. So only this physical thing, or maybe just having fruits and vegetables every day, will not help you out if you're not eating it the right way. Okay. So now I'll just switch on to a presentation. I mean, like, It's just a rough presentation, but I'll just switch on to that because then you'll get some good idea about it. Can you see the screen, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wait. Yeah. So as I was saying, see, like most of you are teenagers here, right? Now, this is a note for parents, okay? Like all of your parents are here. How many of you have your parents here? So like this is for the parents basically. How many of you feel that your child is not eating enough or your child is eating more than what your child should be eating?
You do.
Okay. No one
My
feels
son
the
is
same.
eating less than what he should be eating.
Okay, so this is what you feel, right?
Yes, ma'am. He has control now, like off late.
Okay. And what does your son feel? He's eating sufficient.
Yes, I was about to say that he eats a little more, but he said, no, ma'am, mama, I eat less nowadays. That's it. That's good.
Okay. And Orko's mom is here also, right?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So what do you feel?
Well, when he sits down for his proper meals, he doesn't eat much. He eats balanced, controlled. But most of the times I find that many boxes of sweets inside the refrigerator, they suddenly, the boxes are there, the contents are not there. And that is found many a times. And I think he is the person, because rest of us, we don't eat much sweets at home. So that is, in that way, he is having a otherwise, when he goes for the proper meals, he's taking the required amount of carbohydrate, fats, and proteins that he is taking. But in this in-between things, that is actually not allowing him to get into the proper, healthy condition. That is what I am afraid of.
Okay, wait, I'll show you something. Yeah. Just have a look at this table, okay? So there are requirements for calories mentioned over here. Like if you can see, okay.
Mama, I can't see it.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. It's showing the first.
Yeah. So if you look into this table, especially the calorie section, okay. So like these are the calorie requirements for the age group of children that is present here, okay. So coming to the requirement of an adult, these days, it's about 1600 to 1800 kilocalories, okay. Whereas for children here, it is like above 2000 calories. Now, calories are what is required not only for growth, okay, but for the overall activity that your child is doing. Plus, some calories are also required for body's maintenance, because some of them are in the phase of approaching adolescence. So they'll be, like they need to prepare their body for the changes that come in adolescent period. The one who are in the adolescent period are actually preparing for adulthood, okay. So this is what they need. Now what happens is that, like, whatever, if you're dividing the entire day's food into 3 meals, say breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a person can have only a fixed quantity of food, okay. Like if in order to meet about 2500 kilocalories, and if you're dividing the, say, carbohydrate intake into 3 parts, then per time a child needs to have about 300 grams of rice, 300 to 400 grams of rice. Now, is it possible, like if you ask any person to have 400 grams of rice for one meal, is it possible for any person to have it? Answers.
No, ma'am.
No, right? So exactly my point here, okay. The first problem that we have with children is that there are just 3 big meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, whatever their requirement is, they are having food according to their appetite, but their requirement is not being met, okay. When the requirement is not being met, the body craves for the deficit that is there. Now, being a child or being any person, if you're hungry, whatever is in front of you, you will be having that. If your fridge is loaded with chocolates, you will be having that because you would crave for that. Okay. And again, the fastest source of glucose is carbohydrate, right? That's the reason why these kids have more craving for sweets. Okay. So that's what I am saying. Like, you need to plan meals in between for the kids so that their requirements are met. Okay. Like, say the child is having lunch at 1 o'clock. So then the child must get like some healthy snack option at 3 o'clock. Otherwise, obvious reason is that open the fridge, have whatever is available. Open the cupboard, take the biscuit, have it. This is how it goes. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, am I clear now?
Mom, one thing, I can't see a slide. I'm just seeing
Can't
the
see my slide.
Yeah, the
Wait.
slide is stuck.
Yes, ma'am.
Now?
Ma'am, the same thing.
same thing. Sir.
Basically, I was just showing one slide where it is written recommended dietary allowance for children. Can you all see that?
No, it has
No,
not.
ma'am.
It is
Ma'am,
gone.
you
First slide is visible. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Now it is
Now
visible.
it is visible.
Now it's visible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so these are the requirements that I was talking about. Okay. Now, again, another mistake these days that is happening is that the calorie is only coming from the wrong kind of sources. Say, like in our diet, calories should come from carbohydrate, protein, and fats. Okay. But because of the easy availability of, junk, I won't say junk foods only, convenient foods, people are getting calories from the wrong source. So we have to ensure that we get the calories from right source. We get calories from protein, we get calories from carbs, and we get calories from fats also. Fats are also essential, but the correct type of fat is essential. Children of these age, like, they crave for junk foods or fried foods. It is because they are not getting the essential fat that they should get. And that's the why the body is craving for the fatty food all the more. Okay. That's the reason why pizza is like, there are two things, pizza and fried chicken. That is very popular among like kids these days. Isn't it? No one likes fried chicken here?
No, I like.
Only you like.
Ma'am, I also like.
That's very good. So now, for you guys, how often do you take like this fried chicken or pizza? Like, is it a daily thing or is it once a week? How much do you take?
Ma'am, only when there's a occasion in our house or something like that.
And how often is the occasion in your house?
Ma'am, I don't know. It may be once a week or it may be once a month or just like that. It's randomly.
Okay, so it's just that, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if
It's
it
like
is,
rare. I can say it's very rare.
It's very rare, right? And is it the case for everyone here? Like
Yes,
a
ma'am.
rare thing for everyone? See,
Yes,
if it is a rare case scenario for all of you here, then I would say it's not a problem. Like having junk food or the kind of food that you're targeting, okay, once or twice a week is also not a problem at your age. You have to check whether or not you're crossing the limit, right? Imagine like, you have to do homework and you have to study 24 hours a day. No fun, no games. Would you like it? Would anyone like it?
No, ma'am.
No,
right?
ma'am.
Yeah. So when it comes to junk food or any other like, fast food or snacks or things like that, don't make it a regular practice. Ki every day you're having something from outside. That shouldn't be the case. Then it will be like doing homework every day, every minute of the day. That would be boring and that would not be good, for you people, right? Similarly, junk food and all has to be restricted. And I would say that you people set your own limits now. Like, who plans your homework and studies for you? You only plan, now I'll play, now I'll do my homework, right? So when you're planning this, plan your, like routine for having junk food or going out and having food. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So now, as I was saying, it is more important to eat right than to eat healthy. Okay, this is like, say on pen and paper, if you talk about healthy eating, it basically, ensures that you're having a balanced meal with all the 5 food groups, like cereals, pulses, milk and milk products, and everything in your diet, meat and all. Okay. Now, eating right is something very different. Eating right refers to the overall way in which you're having food. As I was talking about, before, that it also focuses on the pattern in which you're eating. Whatever you're eating, you have to enjoy that and eat. So this is a question to you people, like, do you enjoy what you eat? Or like, are you forced to have certain food?
No, ma'am, not like that.
So you enjoy eating, right?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
except vegetables and fish, I enjoy eating.
Except vegetables and fish, you enjoy eating. And any other, specification from anyone else?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
So now
one
I'll tell you, yeah.
one thing, I said Bhavya for his class, he just left for his class. I have taken
Okay.
over. So he gets really bored having, actually we give him vegetables, rice, dal, and food which we have every day, ma'am. But he's saying, Mama, we want some variation. So how do I go about it, ma'am?
See, variations, if you talk about, what I usually ask people to do is that incorporate the vegetable into something. Say like, maybe he's in hurry, or like he has other things to do. So now in front of him, if you display like a bowl of vegetable, a bowl of, say, something
Dal.
protein like paneer and all, a bowl of dal. So it's like, he's like, oh my God, I have to have 3 bowls of things with this rice. Okay.
Yes, yes.
But similarly, if you're adding the vegetable to the dal, or you're adding it to the rice, 1 item less.
Okay.
Make rolls
Understood.
for him. Say like, you can stuff vegetables in the rotis also, because those actually taste good. If a child is having problem having vegetable for lunch, make a sandwich in the morning. So there are ways in which you can incorporate the thing, right? Say like, even talking of burgers, okay, like the commercial burgers that we get nowadays, they add one lettuce for the courtesy of adding something, because they have to. Talking of authentic burgers, even burger is a good food. It's a convenience food.
Okay.
If you're making that burger at home with a layer of veggies, and then on top of that you have that chicken or veg patty, and then a leafy vegetable on top, it's good. So you are getting 1 serving of leafy vegetable, you're getting like the protein part of it, and you're also getting the carbs. One burger in itself is a balanced food. But again, the way we get it these days is a wrong way. Like, I don't know whether or not instant noodles like Maggi and Yippee has become a standard breakfast for kids these days. I don't know about you people, but like it's very popular among kids. So is this the case with you guys also?
No,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Maggie, I allow him very rarely. Once in a month, once in 15 days.
That's good, because see, I'll tell you, Maggi is nothing but like it's deeply fried and it's just refined carbs.
Absolutely.
Better that you have normal, that chow mein that you get, the normal thick noodles or the flat noodles that's made with wheat and all. So even that's a better option with veggies, obviously. Okay. And Medha, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't like any vegetable?
No, I mean, I like vegetables, few of them, but every day I have to eat vegetables. That's the thing I don't like. Like, of course, I have to.
Kind of have to, right?
Yeah,
See,
I have to.
Everything is important. Okay. Say like there's a separate food group for vegetables, right? Say talking about fish, it doesn't matter that whether you're having fish or you're having paneer or you're having soya bean or you're having egg for the source of protein. You can have anything from this group. You have a choice, right? Now vegetables in itself is a different group. Okay. So if you're skipping that, then the requirements for the vegetables will not be met in your diet, right? So do you like having raw vegetables, say like salad or things like that? Or do you prefer it in the cooked form? Or like you don't like it anyway?
No, I prefer it with raw. I like tomatoes. I like vegetables raw.
So then have it raw, na? It's not necessary that you have to have the typical Bengali torkari, okay?
Yes,
Where
ma'am, but then in lunch or dinner, my mom gives me tarkari only. And
yeah, so that's what I'm telling. Tell your mom you don't have to cook a torkari. Also, give me the raw vegetables. I'll have it. You'll have it, right?
yeah, I'll have it.
What you like, okay? It's not necessary. See, the torkari or a bowl of vegetable, either way, it's the same. The point is you should be having it, right? So doesn't matter whether or not you're having torkari or you're having the normal vegetable, okay? This is one thing. So yeah, as I was saying, basically we should focus more on eating right and rather than focusing on eating healthy. So this is very important. These are the basic guidelines for eating right, and I would like you guys to go through it, okay? Meals should meet one's nutritional requirement and provide satiety. Satiety means the feeling of fullness after you're having food. Meals should meet family needs, consider economic constraints, and be prepared from locally available fruits and vegetables. So obviously, if you're say you like broccoli or Brussels sprouts, now those things are a little towards the expensive side. Once or twice in a month you can have it. Every day you cannot have it, right? So this has to be balanced. And I would say that, whenever your parents do plan grocery for the month, or go for, plan the vegetable shopping for the week and all, right? So why don't you guys take part in it and say I like having this. So maybe 1 day a week or 2 days a week, we can have it, because all they want you to be is healthy, right? So, why aren't you clear about your needs as well? Right? Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever my mom tells the person to bring the vegetable, she asks me what I'll have, because most of the time what she brings I don't like.
Exactly. So why don't you say what you like? If you're liking things raw, then say that bring carrots, bring tomatoes, bring cucumbers. I'll have it like a salad. You can say that, right? She'll get it for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Meals should be convenient to prepare, and they should save time and energy. Obviously, 2 elaborate meals that take a lot of time to prepare is not possible. So every day if you're demanding that I want some fancy meal to your parents also, they have to go to office, they have work, right? So it'll be a little difficult for them also. You agree, right?
Yes.
Say fried rice and mushrooms, chili mushrooms, good and tasty. 1 day a week is fine. Na? 3 days, how will your mom or whosoever helps you to prepare that, how will it be possible for them? So we have to choose what is right for ourselves, and also what is convenient. Like if we start making unrealistic demands, now say your school requires you to score 100 in every subject, not possible, right? So similarly, fancy food every day or elaborate preparation every day is not possible, but once or twice a week is possible. So accordingly, you can plan your meals. And Medha, it is very good since your parents are asking you. So it's even better, right? You have the chance. So why not use it for the right purpose? Now I'll just ask this to you. It's a question for the audience. What is the difference between fast food, junk food, and convenience food? Do you know this?
Fast food and?
Junk food and convenience food. These are 3 categories of food, which is actually, these days causing a lot of trouble. So I would just, want to know whether or not you have a very clear idea about fast food, junk food, and convenience food.
Fast food is something which can be made very fast, prepared very fast. That is basically meant by fast food, like the roadside rolls, cutty rolls, and all those things. Junk food means whose food value is less, but it's very tasty. And I think that something which is easily available, but provides the nutritive elements in the right proportions. I don't know if I'm correct or not.
Okay. See, I'm not judging anyone being correct or incorrect. Everyone is allowed to share their views. I might look like a teacher with the glasses, but I'm not. Trust me.
Yeah, but interestingly, I am a teacher with glasses.
Yes, I look like that. I look very studious, but I am not. Anyone else here? Ideas that you have about fast food, junk food, or convenience food?
In fact, ma'am, I was under the impression that fast food and junk food were quite similar.
Okay. Anyone else? Anything that you think? Anything? Where is Surya Shankar something? He's away from the screen. Where are you? Hi.
Sorry, ma'am, the pens fell down, so I picked them up.
Okay, cool. So see, I'll tell you what ma'am told a while back. Fast food is anything that can be prepared fast, like street side food that she was referring to. Junk food can also be street side food, right? Now the main difference between fast food and junk food here is that a fast food can also be good for your health, but a junk food is definitely not good for your health because they contain a lot of degradable substances like say burnt fat or excess salt in them. Even cut fruits can be fast food. Okay, the aloo kabli that we have is fast food, but it's healthy. Okay, but junk food is like the typical kathi roll that she was talking about, or those those highly salted snacks and fried things that are available on the street side. So again, I'm telling you, anything that can be prepared fast essentially can also be healthy. So I would say that when you have to choose between, when you're having time constraints, choose fast food, like make a healthy choice, because that is all about eating right. Okay. So I would just not say ki, even if you're coming to convenience food refers to packed or tin foods, or like ready to eat snacks and all that, or like just add water, like the Maggi and the Knorr soups and everything that we have available now. So the problem with these foods is that they have got a lot of preservatives in it. Okay. And most of the girls here, these preservatives are the reason why about 70% of teenagers these days are having problem of PCOD. So the problem is convenience food. The problem is convenience food. Like kids of your age these days, mostly they stay in hostels and all, right? People staying in hostels, PCOD is very common among them because they are mostly dependent on convenience food. Okay. Convenience food have got high amount of salt, fat and sugar. So maybe you're like having, say, a very small portion of that convenient food. Even that can contribute to a lot of weight gain, a lot of fat gain in your body. Okay. So, and also another thing that I would say is that I am not, like for a person having bland and all that food, but I am here to, make you select the right type of food. Say when you're ordering food, dhokla is a healthy food that you can choose. It is tasty as well. Talking about aloo kabli, it's also healthy. Bhutta is also healthy plus good in taste. So essentially fried chicken or burger or pizza, like I am saying, don't limit your options. Try uttapam, try chilla, try the other good options that are available also. Understood? Are you getting my point here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And one thing that I would say, like, this is a big no. Okay, like try staying away from convenience food as much as possible, because even one street side roll will not do that much harm, but this one like small packet of powdered soup would do the equal amount of damage. I would say more amount of damage. You're having two rolls, it will not do that much damage as one small packet of convenience food can do to you. And the the discredit here is that it is easily available, and like it's now become a thing, like every household has these instant foods, that instant poha, that instant oats, that masala oats that comes and all. So these are things that we need to avoid. Another thing is that most of us here are not aware of the correct nutritional needs or requirements of a person. Okay, so the age group you are in, like this is a question to parents and to people present here. So iron is something that is very important. Okay, so now who do you think would require more iron, a girl or a boy of your age? Even a question to parents.
A girl.
A girl. Okay. Others?
A girl.
A girl. Okay.
Girl, ma'am.
Yes, Anuja, you?
Girl.
Girl. All are for girls, right?
Yes, yes,
Now,
that. Even I feel girls need more iron.
yeah, because you feel that they are preparing for their menstruation and there's iron loss and all that, right?
Yes.
Now this is the, like,
Sorry,
you won't believe this.
in the previous thing, shall I ask now?
Yeah.
So bread and biscuits are also the part of convenient food.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah.
Biscuits are a part of convenient food. Bread, I would say not all bread is a part of convenient food. Okay. There are handmade baked breads that are available and those come with guarantee. Okay. And if you're having that, you'll feel the difference. About the like there's a significant amount of difference that you can feel. The one which is the convenient food category bread, it is that pure white bread. Like when you like tear it, it'll you'll get this powdered dusty kind of a feeling. Okay. But when you're talking about proper handmade bread, like with proper yeast and proper stuff, when you tear it, it doesn't give you that dusty or powder kind of a feeling, because it is that sticky feeling that you get in bread now is because of gluten. Okay. Gluten is wheat protein. So that this convenience food bread, it will just have pure maida and a lot of yeast and salt. So then that's the reason why it becomes dusty. But the one with proper amount of wheat will have proper amount of gluten. So it will like stay sticky and firm. So be careful while you choose food, because there are bakeries that serve you such convenient food bread and you don't know how to identify the same, right?
Thank you, dear. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So I was coming to this part. In teenage, okay, it's seen that, yeah, girls in India especially suffer from iron deficiency. It is true. And that is because of a lot of taboos that are prevalent. Okay, like the preference of male child over female child and all that. That's the reason why. But if you're like talking about the scientific reason, a boy of your age requires more iron than a girl. Okay. It's because when we are growing up, like the body composition of a boy has more muscle mass and a girl by default has more fat mass. Okay. So for building up muscles, like you'll see boys, like healthy boys, suddenly becoming very lean and thin during the adolescent period. Either they become very lean or they gain a lot of weight. Like they look fat and heavy with like all that flappy fat thing. It is because of lack of muscles in their body. And myoglobin is needed for building muscles, which like iron is an essential component of myoglobin. So that is the reason why if you're talking about requirements, a boy needs more iron than a girl of this age. Now, yeah, why is iron supplementation for girls promoted and not for boys? It is because of the overall neglect towards women's health. That's why the Sabla scheme has designed iron supplementation for girls and not for boys. Because by default in India, like I don't want to be a sexist or anything, but by default in India, men are like well fed as compared to women. Especially the scheme, the Sabla scheme and all, it's been designed for the lower economic strata. That's not the case in like proper educated homes, but this is the case throughout the country, right? So that's the reason. Now, this is the reason why most people here are unaware that a boy actually requires more iron. So if you're having a girl child and a boy child here, you will be more concerned about iron supplementation of your girl and you will not actually get your boy's hemoglobin level tested ever. Right. So I would request that when you're having a girl child and a boy child, and you suddenly notice that your child has become the boy has become really lean, or like is gaining a lot of fat mass in spite of eating very less, get the iron levels checked. Okay, this is very important. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, the iron requirements. You can go through it. Sorry. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This is like a basic summary of the guidelines that I was talking about, like, what you should be eating and what you should not be eating. Another problem besides anemia that adolescents or teenagers these days are suffering from is calcium and vitamin D deficiency, which is, you know, making them prone to early onset of osteoporosis. Like osteoporosis was a disease that was affecting women or like people in their 60s, okay? But now osteoporosis, it's like early onset. Women in their 30s are having the problem of osteoporosis. So that's what I am saying. Focus on your calcium and protein intake as well. And for males, you will see that, you know, they don't exactly have osteoporosis, but the problem they have is femur fracture. Femur fracture in Indian males is very common, because I would tell you that usually males of the house are into heavy lifting stuff and all that, right? And from adolescent, if they have not taken good care of their calcium and like vitamin D and protein levels, they are more prone to fractures. And yeah, women, they will be having early onset of osteoporosis. In fact, some women just immediately after delivery start showing signs of osteoporosis. So these are things that need to be taken care of from a very young age to ensure a proper healthy adulthood. Okay. These are some basic like recipe modifications. So I can share this slide with you. You'll get the same. This is again a summary of the entire concept that I was talking about, like, you know, how diet should be like, what are the healthy alternatives for, you know, fat or healthy energy drinks and all that. Okay. So any questions, anyone?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No one has any questions?
No, ma'am.
Madam, I have a question.
Okay, yeah.
At this age group, is egg advised every day?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
In fact, at your age group also, you can have whole egg every day. Egg, again, I'll tell you, we have certain misconceptions regarding food, okay? The cholesterol that egg has is HDL. It is good cholesterol.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're like a person of your age is having egg every day and doesn't have any cardiac issues, it's good, no problem. If you're having the same also, 4 days a week, whole egg will not cause any problem. If you're having egg 7 days a week, ensure that you're not taking saturated fat or any, say like you need to restrict your milk intake, ghee intake and all that. So if you are managing that way, you can take egg every day or 3 or 4 days a week, like full whole egg will do you no harm. And at this age, if the child is not severely obese or anything, egg every day is good, will not cause any problem.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Ma'am,
No,
what
ma'am.
would be the optional for egg if someone has an allergy? Because I have an allergy for eggs. And so what could be the optional food that I could have?
You can have chicken, you can have soya bean, you can have paneer, milk. Do you have allergy in all these foods, or is it just egg that you're allergic to?
It's just egg.
Yeah, so you can have anything from this food group. You can have milk, you can have paneer, tofu, soya bean, chicken. Okay. Okay. So I think we are done here then. Thank you again for a wonderful evening. And like, I was happy that the audience is interactive.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Or else we can end today. Shubhangi, it was very, very, very enriching. I learned so many things.
Thank you so much.